Welcome back to The Dive. Today's topics will be the most recent news, from gold to uranium, how our guest sees the Evergrande scenario playing out, what commodities he thinks are in favor now, and an outstanding update on the company's project. We are chatting with the founder and managing director of Soar Financial Partners, Kai Hoffman. But before we bring him on, consider hitting that subscribe button for me, please. Hey, Kai, welcome back to The Dive.
Hey, great to be back on. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, it's so good to have you back. Okay, so let's start with the Evergrande situation. What is your read on the situation so far, and how do you think it will spill over onto the broad market?
It's an interesting situation that's developing there in China, right? And I've heard yesterday in conversations that apparently there was a short selling report out over 10 years ago on the Ponzi scheme that's been going on there. And the question is, how long can you stay solvent, right? So managing a scam like that over 10 years is quite impressive. Makes you think what else can be sort of swept under the rug if need be. In terms of market situation, I'm looking more at the base metals or at the industrial metals as well, like what is affecting the prices there. One positive note is that gold is actually trending up because the main markets are selling down because there's a $300 billion hangover from that debacle looming. And gold seems to be trending upwards based on safe haven investment styles. I'm really, really positive on that. And it's great that gold actually is gaining because it shows that gold is still attractive for that. So that's what I'm looking at, more of the metal side.
Are there certain commodities you're in favor of right now in the event that China does see a credit crisis? Or are you sitting on the sidelines waiting to see how it plays out?
Both a little bit. Like, well, gold is the obvious one. If it really does happen, and China has a lot of U.S. Treasury as well, do they have to sell that to cover it? I doubt it. It is $300 billion. It is massive. It mostly hits the small person on the street again, people that made those down payments where the money is just gone, right? But it's good to see those ripple effects coming in. Like you see the market selling down, gold is profiting. I am cautious when it comes to the base metals, just for now. Although I've been hearing that other infrastructure programs in Asia will be compensating for the shortfall there as well.
What about uranium? The commodity has found new life over the last few months. Do you think this could be a sustained rally?
It depends on how you look at it. On the commodity itself, I do think so. It has been at the bottom for quite a while. We've finally seen some interest coming in on the physical side, meaning the Sprott Uranium fund coming in, buying the physical uranium out of the market. I hear that Kazatomprom, I hope I said that right, is also in the market buying. And we've seen some producers or developers buying physical as well. The only question mark, I don't think anybody really knows how much supply there really is out there. So it could be a bit of a short squeeze, but on the supply side. But again, I'm waiting for the black swan event where somebody says, well, we do have a lot of supply and we're just going to flood the market. And then there's the stock side. So I'm looking at that as well. Obviously, like I do like your companies benefiting from this trend, but there's a lot of companies going up where I'm scratching my head. It's like, why? Like those companies don't have a clear runway to production. They're just optionality plays. And I really urge investors to be cautious with those companies and take profits off the table. Don't wait till the end. It's always the retail shareholders that are the bag holders. We've seen that in other cycles as well. We've seen that in Bitcoin to a degree. As an example, I'm not positive or negative on Bitcoin, but just as make sure to take profits once you have them and make sure to lock those in.
Good point. Okay, so are you investing in any uranium names right now?
No, not at all. That trend, like I'm watching that one definitely from the sideline, watching how that plays out. Yesterday, just on Friday, when I started to slowly think about maybe buying into something or just at least taking a closer look. NextGen, for example, a company I look at, which I quite respect, and I spoke to Lee Curia, the CEO, a couple of times in the past, just dropped 10%. So there's definitely a bit of a bubble behavior there. It's really volatile. So I'm just watching from the sidelines, and there are other sectors I'm more interested in right now.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about gold. It appears the sentiment couldn't get much worse. What needs to happen to get investors excited about gold again?
That's a very good question. That's the $1 million question on the prices, or not the prices, right? Who wants to be a millionaire, right? And there really is no excitement. Maybe the Evergrande situation is a bit of a trigger because I do like the behavior I see in the gold price, but it hasn't really trickled down in the juniors yet. We're still fighting the summer doldrums, like we're just coming out of it. But the next disaster is already looming, which is tax loss season. Because of the very, very weak summer, a lot of investors are sitting on losses in the mining sector. So having those losses on your books, quite a few investors might get rid of them because they make money in uranium, maybe, for example, as well. So that is a positive and a negative, making money on one side, but losing money on the other. I'm more focused on the precious metals or base metals and stocks in that sector. So we might get, or we might see another downtrend there happening as well. And that's a good buying opportunity. So December 15th, have some cash.
Do you think the complete lack of interest makes it an interesting time to be looking at junior gold names?
Oh, definitely. Right. Do your homework. There's a lot of companies, like even the producers, are trading at very low cash flow multiples. Barrick has been yielding over 4% for the year. They've been issuing some special dividends. Newmont is trading at 3.8% dividend, but the junior names are attractive as well. Don't just go all the way down to the exploration side. There's some interesting development names that have been beaten down quite a bit over the last few months. Even smaller producers, junior producers, take a look at those. There's a lot of value to be had these days, and I prefer those names over any uranium name any day.
All right, great. So we're also aware that you're one of the people behind Labrador Gold Corp. At your Kingsway project, the firm just revealed 44 grams per ton gold intercepts over 4 meters. What can you tell us about this project?
Yeah, it's still very early days. So I'm one of the directors at Labrador Gold, and we're just running through our first drill campaign for the year, on the project. So, and we're quite excited what we're seeing. We seem to be hitting what we're targeting, and it's continuing. We're only 7,500 meters into the program, so we lots pending as well to sort of test the thesis and what we're following up there. Of course, we're targeting the same structure as our neighbor to the south, Newfound Gold, and it's looking quite positive. Just this morning, actually, we announced another discovery on sample results, and we sampled over 338 grams of gold, just very close to the property boundary to the south. That's been quite exciting. The stock is rallying this morning based on that, and we're excited what we're seeing. We just need a lot more drilling to follow up and really confirm the thesis.
Awesome. Congratulations. Okay, so one more
Thank
thing
you.
before I let you go here. For our viewers, where can they subscribe to your newsletter?
Yeah, just follow us on Twitter. I think that's the best way to reach out and reach us. It's at Soar Financial, SOAR Financial. We post live interviews, regular commentary as well. I do mix quite a bit of personal opinion on there as well. So make sure to follow us there. Appreciate that.
All right, great. I will. Thank you so much for joining us again, Kai.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on. Much appreciated.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with more great content. So stay tuned by hitting that subscribe button.